Guys, we finally did it. We finally got some equipment. Right now you're seeing the product of lights, a mic that's just there for show. We haven't figured that out yet, but that
it'll happen.
And background. So really happy stuff to make some improvements, make the videos a lot better. Start doing new videos and
just up the production value.
Exactly. But like usual, nothing's different when it comes to Tactical Tuesdays. I know it's Wednesday, but shit happens.
We were trying to set this up yesterday and it didn't happen, so...
The lights were confusing. Took multiple trips to Sammy's camera to finally get it done.
But it made it happen.
Anyways, we're here because of UFC Fight Night 106, Brazil. And I know we look like some sad boys right now, but I'm showing my Brazilian pride right now. Go Brazil. No, I don't know. But anyways, this is a really underrated card. I'm actually very excited for a lot of these matchups. And
it's a good card for sure.
Some rematches, some weird fights, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, we have Kelvin Gastelum taking on Vitor Belfort.
Kelvin's a crazy favorite.
Minus 420.
Yeah. Crazy favorite.
That's a little too much for my liking, to be honest.
We were talking about this earlier, and you brought up a good point. That's like, does Vitor still have that like bang first round power? Like, I think he does. I think that's the last thing that goes. I feel like even the power's the last thing that goes. I feel like if you have fast twitch muscle fibers, they stick around for a little bit. They don't just disappear. And so I feel like Vitor could do that. Do I think it's gonna happen? Like, no.
Yeah, it's like a 1 out of 10. You think, or like a 2 out of 10.
Even that, like, I feel like it's just closer than the odds are telling.
He knocked out Bisping, knocked out Luke Rockhold. This is an interesting fact about Vitor Belfort that I told you about. The guy hasn't gone to a decision since 2007. He's a kill or be killed kind of fighter. Every win he has is virtually in the first round.
Yeah.
People always break him later on. He just gasses out. He's like he's very quick in the beginning, and then I don't know. He just loses
gasses out. He's just not there.
Kelvin Gastelum, he proved, even though he has his weight cutting issues, the last fight against Tim Kennedy, similar thing. Tim Kennedy was explosive in the beginning, not Vitor explosive. Let's be real, but explosive in the beginning, having his moments, but then second, third, Kelvin eventually finishes the fight. He eventually just like completely outpaces him and blows him out.
His cardio is good for a guy that does
Neil Magny.
Yeah.
He was. Everyone thought he was going to gas out late because he's always overweight, but he never has a problem going distance. I think he won the third round against Woodley. He's arguably undefeated, this guy.
Yeah.
And like he's never been finished. He's very smooth on the feet. I don't know who's the better striker. I'd say Vitor's the more versatile, diverse striker, but Kelvin Gastelum, he's a decent chin. He's going to walk forward. He's going to press Vitor. It's all about Vitor setting it up and really hurting Kelvin. Can he do that? I don't think so.
I mean, Kelvin recently has been a much better striker than Vitor. Vitor hasn't looked good at all recently. Do I think Kelvin Gastelum is going to go through him? Yeah, I think that's going to happen. But do I think Vitor is going to land the shot? It could happen, but...
It's like the Vitor of old versus Kelvin now. I'd pick Vitor.
TRT.
But, yeah, TRT Vitor, that guy can be anyone. But not TRT Vitor.
Not so much.
Not so much. And he's been losing a lot of fights. Kelvin, he's an up-and-comer. He's arguably never lost. I like this fight for him.
Yeah, me too.
But minus 420, you might as well try Vitor for that. Like first round knockout, see what the play on that is. I don't know. That's my opinion. Anyways, next fight. We have a light heavyweight bout between John Volante and Mauricio Shogun Rua. John Volante is a plus 120 underdog, while Shogun is a minus 140 favorite. Not that John Volante is like a prospect or anything, but obviously Shogun's the Brazilian legend, the former light heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
And John Volante, a veteran of the UFC, a guy who fought in Strikeforce, a guy who's had a couple wins and then a couple losses, and takes a lot of damage. That scares me because Shogun, he's taken damage throughout his time, but he dishes out a lot of damage as well. So I don't know if John Volante can eat them shots.
Not as much anymore.
Not as much anymore.
His pace definitely slowed down.
Shogun?
Yeah, definitely slowed down. I feel like now he's more cardio efficient, but I don't know. The odds on this are tripping me out because I think Volante has like a clear path to victory.
And that is
personally. Well, I think he's crisper boxing. I think he's probably in a better state in his career. Like Shogun's kind of 1 foot out the door. not to be like disrespectful, but
2-fight winning streak that arguably could be 2 losses too.
yeah.
So
It's kind of like but John Volante, I feel like he's kind of coming to his own more than he ever has in his career. He seems like he's putting it together, and it seems like when he has the range and he can rely on his jab, he feels more like he looks more comfortable.
yeah,
And he has that in this fight. So
I just worry about like those losses. Like he doesn't mind being in a firefight. I mean, his last fight he fought against a guy by the name of Saperbek Safarov, who was undefeated coming into the fight. But this guy was like so wild, so bad, like definitely not UFC caliber. Not to be mean, but that's just like my opinion. And like the guy clipped him so many times. Like he didn't need, like he was fighting a smart fight at times, like staying long, throwing jabs, throwing leg kicks, keeping him on like the outside range, the 4 range supposedly. And he finds a way to always get clipped. Like Shogun's a warrior; he can take damage, and in Brazil especially, I could see John Volante possibly getting knocked out. I mean, OSP knocked out Shogun. Shogun has been like flash knocked out before.
Yeah, definitely.
But I see them trading for a bit, and Shogun getting the last shot in until John falls. John's gonna try to fight a smart fight, but he can't resist. He's gonna engage in a firefight, and then that's where Shogun's gonna just win that James Tahuna left hook.
You think so?
Left hand Larry right here.
Well, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this.
Agree to disagree.
But the
next fight. This fight on our hike, we were talking a lot about this fight. This is a lightweight contest between top 10 opponents Beneil Dariush and Edson Barboza.
Yeah.
And man, Barboza here minus 170 favorite, Dariush plus 150. Barboza's a very skillful man. Like everyone, like he's a freak.
Yeah.
Amazing leg kicks, amazing fast twitch movement. What's the way to beat him? We learned like from his losses to Jamie Varner, Donald Cerrone, Michael Johnson, Tony Ferguson. There is a way to beat him. You can pressure him and like make him very uncomfortable. Don't give him that kicking range. Just completely make him uncomfortable. Pettis couldn't do that. He's a guy who likes to stay on the outside too, so it gave Edson a perfect amount of space to do his thing. But Gilbert, I was surprised by this because Gilbert, he's a guy who likes to pressure people anyway, regardless of Edson's deficiencies. And every time Gilbert stepped forward, Edson leg kicked him, and that kind of made him immobilized him. So it's like Beneil Dariush, we were also saying, is like one of the smartest MMA fighters we know. Like the way he breaks down a fight's genius. World-class jiu-jitsu, and his striking's very underrated. Good kicks, good boxing.
I agree.
He knows the game plan to beat Edson. And it's me, like I gotta eventually respect this guy because he does live the life, and he's very smart. He has world-class training partners, and he, like, how he beat Rashid Magomedov last fight, I thought he was gonna lose. Like, he knows how to get it done. He knows how to follow the game plan and execute it. I don't know. It's a tough fight for me to call. I think it's a coin flip because Edson is a lot more chinny than Beneil, and Beneil's boxing is pretty solid.
He hits a lot harder, and you're right. Like those leg kicks can kind of take you out. If you like get hit with those early in the fight, you're probably not going to be the same for the rest of the fight, the entire fight.
And we can't discredit Edson Barboza's improvements. I mean, he's trained with Frankie and Mark Henry and Eddie Alvarez. So like he is making improvements in his grappling, but. If I have to make a choice, man, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I think I'm picking Beneil Dariush.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was really hyped on Edson. I think he has a big upside, but Beneil seems like the smarter pick. I think what you said about Edson having holes, they're like known holes where this has happened. Like Edson has gotten hurt and then choked multiple times. Do I think Beneil Dariush can do that? Yeah. I think if he hurts him, it's going to be like Cowboy. He's not going to try to like scrap. He's going to take his back.
Right.
Like, he's going to advance position. Because I would pick him on the ground over Edson any day.
Any day. He's world class on the ground.
Yeah, and his boxing's good. His kicks are good, and so yeah,
he knows what he has to do. If he has to fight him in a clinch bout, but Edson's camp's smart too, so they're going to be prepared for this. Is that enough?
But like, what my thing is, it's like, how do you prepare for this? Like, this is like a known way. You get hit. Like, you're in a fight, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Like, if that happens, like we've seen you get rocked. Like, you're kind of out of it.
Right.
You're just like compromised. It's kind of like you can't. I don't think you can train for that.
True. So that's always gonna be his like problem, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can get it done. I totally understand why people pick Edson Barboza. He's a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot more powerful. But I gotta go with Beneil Dariush here with the decision. Maybe even like a late stoppage.
Yeah, I think Beneil Dariush stoppage, round 2 submission.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
In my home. No. Just kidding. Anyways, next fight, we have a flyweight contest between Jussier Formiga and Ray Borg. Formiga, the Brazilian, is a -130 favorite, while Ray Borg is a +110 underdog.
Yeah, and this is the first fight I'm going to pick a Brazilian in.
Finally.
Which is interesting. But, yeah, I think Jussier Formiga is, first off, much more experienced. He's been like the top of this division pretty much since it came to the UFC.
Yeah, but I always forget about his fights for some reason. You know? When you think of Jussier Formiga,
I just always, whenever I look at the rankings, I always see his name. Like, it's always like top.
He's always there. He's always a staple.
Yeah, and he's a jiu-jitsu like ace. It's
beautiful back takes. Like
that's his bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like his striking has got into the point where it's semi-efficient over his time in the UFC.
Sure,
yeah. I think like he knows the basics of it. I don't think it's his strong suit. I don't think he thinks it's his strong suit, but you know it's there.
Right.
And then you have a guy like Ray Borg, grappling base, like
wrestler, likes to be on top, likes to be heavy on top.
Your options are limited. Do I think Ray Borg's striking's that good? Like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like if they
neutralize themselves,
like, so they neutralize themselves pretty much everywhere except in the takedowns, and then that's where it lives and dies. I feel like to see if Ray Borg can hold position on Jussier.
That's the whole wrestler versus Brazilian jiu-jitsu thing. It's like think of Chad Mendes, like he just like our GSP does the can opener, like where he holds the head and he just postures up. Can't really do shit off your back. The big strong wrestler holds you down. Mm-hmm. Wins rounds. That's how Ray Borg just beat Luis Smolka. Mm-hmm. Now, Jussier Formiga is even better than Luis Smolka. That was Smolka's whole like game in the UFC. Mm-hmm. But Formiga, people don't like to fuck with him on the ground. Wilson Hayes, a really good grappler, got schooled by Formiga. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm having a hard time. It's like a 50-50. We're either going to see Ray Borg just on top position, like half guard, just like chipping away until like he's like winning rounds, boring fight, or Formiga's gonna get him in a transition, get his back, and I also don't think he can finish him. Either way, I see it being a decision because both guys are just gonna neutralize. They know their strengths.
So you'd say Ray Borg because like he's gonna be on top.
Yeah, Ray Borg's either gonna be on top with a takedown, or if you can't take him down, it's just gonna be like a slow striking fight. I don't know,
bro. I think Jussier Formiga on his back for 15 minutes, like something's bound to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's the most likely path this fight goes, and I think I don't think you're gonna be able to sit in a half guard for 15 minutes.
I think this is how I see it going. Formiga, I see the fight eventually hitting the ground. Mm-hmm. Both guys well prepared. Who's the more skilled grappler to this day? I'm gonna say Jussier Formiga. I'm gonna say in the transition, regardless if he's on his back or not, he's gonna find some way to lock him up in a submission or get a dominant position. More time than Ray Borg. I just think he's a little better on the ground, and that's Ray Borg's game. So, like, it's possible Ray Borg just neutralizes him, but more likely I see Jussier Formiga.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning to.
Definitely a decision. Definitely, like, moments for both guys, but definitely a decision. I would say 29-28, 30-27 Jussier.
I think you could finish him.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, I feel like anytime they're in the fight.
He hasn't really gotten a finish, ever in the UFC. It's like... a fake finish you got with Scott Jorgensen.
I don't think anyone's been like going to be so willing to take him down. I don't think either one of them want to strike. Realistically,
yeah.
You know, like I don't think I feel like I would trust Jussier Formiga striking more than Ray Borg's. Yeah. But even then, I don't think he's scared of his striking.
He throws a nice right hand down the middle, like very straight. Like he can catch Ray coming in. Mm. But yeah, we're picking Formiga.
Yeah.
Anyways, next fight we have the first women's fight. On the white new screen. So, good for you guys. We have, why did I say that about Kelvin, though? I didn't say that for Kelvin and Vitor. They're the first males, too.
It's Women's Day.
Women's Day, so yeah. Happy International Women's Day. Anyways, Bethe Correia versus Marion Reneau. Bethe plus 105, Marion Reneau minus 125. Both girls have done rather okay in the UFC. I think Bethe Correia is 4-2 in the UFC, 10-2 overall. She hasn't gotten a finish ever. Actually, she stopped Shayna Baszler, but that's because Shayna Baszler, nothing you mean. No, she's actually a skilled grappler, but she was just gassed in that fight.
She was just standing there.
Marion Reneau, what really impresses me about her is her grappling. Like she's very well rounded. I think I at least all I know is that Doug the Rhino Marshall trains her. It seems like she's at a camp where they do focus on her. She's also a gym teacher, so she's always in shape, always working out. Anyways, but Bethe Correia is primarily just a boxer, and like she's very slow and she has no knockout power. We saw Jessica Andrade clip Marion Renault, but I don't see Marion Renault getting clipped by Bethe Correia.
Well, I feel like their striking is pretty similar.
Yeah?
Andrade and Correia. I mean, like neither. I feel like Andrade is probably crisper, but Bethe Correia just kind of brawls.
Right.
Andrade is moving forward, throwing hooks like Lineker. I mean, it's similar.
She's quicker and more crisp.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I feel like there's that hook base. That's what I'm saying. So, but Bethe Correia, like their punching power is different.
Jessica Andrade at 115 has more power than Bethe Correia.
So like even if she gets clipped, that's my main thing. Like
I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
And I think Marion Renault's, other than striking where they're arguably maybe even, and I think Marion Renault actually has some underrated striking, I'd say everywhere else she's better. Her clinch game's good, and her jiu-jitsu is going to be the key here. If she gets her to the ground, somehow takes her down, which I don't know if she can do that, which is...
You don't think she can take her down?
I don't know if she can take her down. I don't know if she's a wrestler. I've never seen her go for a takedown. She got...
Well, I mean, there's takedowns in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah, she actually did take down the girl she fought. Yeah, she could finish her on the ground.
Yeah.
Either way, I see Marion Renault being comfortable wherever the fight goes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think... I could imagine Bethe Correia like stealing a decision, similar to the way Ashley Evans Smith did. But when you think of like who has a bigger ceiling, who's the better martial artist, who's the more well-rounded fighter, it's definitely Marion Renault. I mean, she hasn't been finished in the octagon ever. Her only 2 losses are to former champ Holly Holm, where she had moments, and Ashley Evans Smith, where she won that fight. Rocked her. I don't know what the judges were doing that day. The point is, she's a good fighter. Bethe Correia, I feel like we've seen her ceiling. She did train at AKA. She's tried some things, but in her fights, I haven't seen anything besides her loopy, shitty boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that'll be fine for Marion Renault to handle.
Yeah, I think she gets... I don't know if she submits her or decisions her.
If she gets dropped, either way, and she's on her back,
that's what I'm thinking too.
I would see Bethe Correia just following her down there and then getting caught. So either way, Marion Renault wins this fight. But the fight, I'm excited to hear what Zane has to say about this next fight. We have a welterweight rematch between Alex Cowboy Oliveira and Tim Means. Tim Means, big favorite. I think people are finally getting on the Tim Means train.
Yeah.
Tim Means minus 260, Alex Oliveira plus 220.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Means is a beast. Like, one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC. Arguably, like, a hard matchup for most people inside the top 15. He is coming out with a vengeance. I don't like that was shit what happened to him in their last fight. That sucks. Like,
he's had a lot of bad luck, man.
Yeah, he has. And, like, he's kind of finding his stride. He's
finally.
Yeah, and I feel like he's a very, very hard matchup. Alex Oliveira, I don't know, striking's not as good as I would like it to be. Like,
no, it's not.
Yeah, and Tim Means isn't fucking, like, Will Brooks. Like, he's not as small.
I would say Tim Means has better striking than anyone Alex Oliveira has ever fought except Cowboy Cerrone. And that's even, it's different striking.
Yeah. And
I mean, when I saw Cowboy Oliveira burst into the scene, and he like lost to Gilbert Burns, but he was beating his ass until he got armbarred in the 3rd round, I was like, oh, his striking might be good, but really, like, he's like striking with people who aren't great strikers and like who are like trading with him. This guy's very powerful, very strong. I mean, there's been rumors that he's like one of the strongest guys at the gym.
Supposedly.
Alex Oliveira. Okay. That's what he wanted to do last fight. He wanted to go like what he did with Will Brooks, like fight him in the clinch, wear him down. That's what he's been doing to James Montastri. That's what he's been doing a lot lately. He likes to wear people down and like make it more a fight on like Will and like who's stronger. But the thing is, when he went to the clinch, like he got busted up by Tim Means. Tim Means has brutal elbows, brutal knees, great boxing, great feints. He's just very tricky. And shout out UFC News Alerts. I saw your article, and Tim Means said, I want to show him like I'm on another level or some shit like that. So I'm still riding the Tim Means train. Even his loss to Matt Brown, his first loss since being back in the UFC. He's 5-1 since being back. That was the fight he was winning, and he got caught. And then he used to fight at 155. Now he's at his frame. Both of these guys were too big for 155.
Yeah, definitely.
Tim Means is the better striker. He's the more crisp, fluid striker. Oliveira might be the more powerful guy, But Tim Means doesn't make mistakes, really.
Yeah.
Tim Means is deadly, and he's about to silence the Brazilians.
He's calm in there, yeah. He's going to take him out.
I'm hyped for Tim Means. Tim Means, like he's one of the only fighters I'm like, man, like, Tim Means is fighting, like, all right, like, I gotta see that fool, you know? Like, every time he delivers. Every time.
First or second round, TKO.
I don't know if people could stay in there with Tim anymore, man. He's, like, killing people. He's killing it. I mean, like, I'm going to say first round again, and... Sorry, Oliver. Maybe second round. Saba Hamasi made it to the second round. Oliver is better than that. But it's all about game plan. Can Oliveira, like, really neutralize Tim Means? The only way I see him having any success is if he's on top on the ground. He's Tim Means will be prepared for him coming for takedowns with knees. And Tim Means is the boy. Tim Means is our pick.
Yeah. Next fight.
We have the surging Francisco Trinaldo 7-fight win streak taking on
Kevin Lee.
Another great prospect, another guy who had a devastating loss to Leo Santos, who I think a lot of these MMA analysts have been highlighting that loss. But since that loss, he's went back to the drawing board and is on a 3-fight winning streak with 2 stoppages, one over Jake Matthews, one over Magomed Mustafayev. Decent competition. But Trinaldo, you can't deny this guy's on a 7-fight winning streak, and he's beating Ross Pearson, Yancy Medeiros, Chad Laprise, Paul Felder. Like, the guy's... I don't know like what he did, but he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
He has a lot of UFC experience. He's fought so many times in Brazil. His striking's good. His jiu-jitsu's good. He's big for the weight class. He's a hard out for anyone. He's a world champion in striking. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, but Kevin Lee's a good fighter too, and Kevin Lee has a big reach advantage. But I never think much about that because Kevin Lee, he doesn't fight long at all, and he relies on the grappling a lot too.
Well, that's what his reach helps with.
Right. But I'm saying, like, when I'm talking about just striking.
Oh, yeah,
just
like striking.
Like fighting like a long striker.
Yeah, he comes in.
So, I'm worried that Trinaldo gets taken down and, like, ridden out by Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee can break people and take him down. He looks so impressive against James Mutashi. But since then, I haven't seen that same guy.
Jake Matthews, he looked good.
Yeah, but that was, like, a weird, like... A lot of weird things happened in that fight. It wasn't, like, a clean, like, win.
Was it a clean win?
I feel like he slipped. Something was off about it where I wasn't like as impressed. I can't quite figure out what it was I was watching back then, but I just remember how I felt. I remember like I was like, okay, like there's circumstances that made the win happen rather than, wow, he did like what Cerrone did, that beautiful combination.
Yeah, another story.
But yeah, Kevin Lee's a -150 favorite over a guy's on a 7-fight winning streak.
Yeah, that
says something, you know. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Lee, like, he's a high ceiling. Like, he's a very athletic guy. He's trained at Mayweather. He has a great gym, or he trains with a lot of people in Vegas. Like, he's with the best guys in Vegas. Really hard guy to stop takedowns from. Like, he takes people down, just throws them, and breaks people too.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a. I just don't want to under-respect Trinaldo too. You know, Trinaldo's a better striker.
Yeah, definitely the better striker. But do you think it stays there? That's my thing.
I think it's gonna go. There's gonna be like some tosses and turns in this fight. I think both guys are gonna have their moments, and for that reason, I'm going with Trinaldo because I don't think Kevin Lee can finish him on the ground. I think Trinaldo will be prepared there, and he'll be ready for the takedown attempts. Plus, he's very big for the weight class. And his striking, I see being a big advantage, even though he's at a huge reach disadvantage.
Well, I mean, I think, honestly, I don't think it's out of Kevin Lee's, like, realm of possibility to mix up his striking. Like, kind of mixing a jab. I feel like if you're just naturally long, that's the way to go. Just, like, that's where you start out anyways.
So Trinaldo can counter the jab and throw it overhand left and rock him.
That's true, but, like, do I see that happening? Like,
I see Trinaldo pressing him, actually. And Kevin Lee trying to take a reactive takedown and like...
You don't think they work?
I think, like, a guy on a 7-fight winning streak who's fighting the better competition of the two of them right now, you gotta respect him. Even though he's old, even though Kevin Lee's technically...
Kevin Lee wants this fight, though. He believes in himself a lot.
And that's what makes him hard to deny, because he's a very confident, talented up-and-comer. But Trinaldo's been beating good guys, and I think he's the more well-rounded fighter as of now. And, like, something's working for him, and I don't know, like... Right now, like, I thought I was with Kevin Lee, but I think I changed my mind. So.
Yeah, no, I don't know. You brought up a lot of good points. It's I was in that same boat with you, but you kind of talked me out of it. That was a good job
Thanks,
for
man.
Trinaldo. But I just want Kevin Lee to get the submission.
Yeah, whatever happens, good for you. You know, like
yeah,
great. Next fight, We have newcomer Davy Ramos taking on Sergio Moraes. Davy Ramos plus what?
Big underdog.
Big
Yeah, not the biggest.
Plus 165 for Ramos. Moraes is a minus 205 favorite. Sergio Moraes is getting a new replacement opponent. I feel like he's always getting those. Like, I swear this guy's cursed.
People don't want to fight him.
I don't think it's that. I mean, the guy's not the best striker, but he's a great jiu-jitsu guy. He submitted Neil Magny, There
you go.
But there's no way he submits this guy. This guy, Davy Ramos here, Abu Dhabi champion 2015, the most recent Abu Dhabi. That's the creme de la creme.
They didn't have one in 2016.
It's every 2 years.
Oh, interesting.
This year's is in Finland. Fun fact. But Davy Ramos won the best tournament in jiu-jitsu recently.
Yeah.
Both guys are amazing on the ground, so I don't know if that neutralizes each other or if someone just gets caught.
That's a good point.
Comparing their striking and experience, definitely Sergio Moraes. There's a lot more tape on him striking. There's a lot more experience of him fighting people. Like, he's had much more fights on his record. I think he has like 18 fights. Sergio Moraes is fighting, or Davy Ramos is on his 9th fight or something like that, 8th fight. He has one loss. His only big loss was on the big stage against David Rickles in Bellator, where he had his moments. But yeah, like Davy Ramos' whole game is about the ground. I don't think he's like a complete fighter yet, and that's concerning. Scary. But Sergio Moraes isn't really a devastating striker, and I don't know. I'm not worried about Davy Ramos taking damage on the feet. I actually see them fighting on the ground.
You think it goes to the ground?
That'll be a treat if it goes to the ground, because they're going to be moving like monkeys. They're like going to be all over the place on the ground.
I don't know if it goes to the ground though.
No? You think I think one of them takes the other down. I think Davy Ramos is. Oh, isn't he going up a weight class for this too?
Yeah, he is going up a weight class.
Interesting. So I don't know if that affects anything either.
I feel like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I feel like you're right. Actually, like they would take, like one of them would try to take the other one down.
Yeah.
Probably Davy Ramos. Like he's the jiu-jitsu, like
he's the more sturdy little guy. That's a big part of his game. Just like going after people and trying to get them to the ground and pound them out or submit them.
I feel like Moraes is like very good on the ground as well and bigger. Stronger and like taller,
right? It's so tough to see who's gonna win that ground battle.
Well, I just feel like I don't know. I'm gonna go with Sergio Moraes because I feel like he's gonna be okay on the ground if it goes there, and I feel like I trust his striking more.
I get it. Like he's the more experienced guy. Definitely he's the better striker, even though he's not much of a striker, and he's fought the way better people. Fair. I see Davy Ramos taking him down, and it's gonna be some compromising positions, but like. I see him escaping and getting eventually where he wants to be. I don't know, Moraes, like he can beat someone that's really good, but then you can like lose to someone that's like mediocre. Like it really kind of just depends on the night. I don't think he's trustworthy either. So it's a toss-up, but I'm going with Davy Ramos, the newcomer. I like that he's an underdog too, so sign me up.
There you go.
Next fight, we have another. If you like jiu-jitsu, watch these fights. We have Joe Soto taking on Ronnie Yaya. I believe Ronnie Yaya is a former ADCC winner as well. Yeah. And Joe Soto, I think he made it to the final of an EBI. So both guys are good grapplers. Joe Soto's coming off a heel hook win in the UFC. That's crazy. Joe Soto here is a plus 145 underdog, while Ronnie Yaya is a minus 165. He's a minus 165 favorite. And I think it's because Yaya's been more consistent in the octagon. He's winning a lot more fights. But Joe Soto's finally on the board, 2 wins in a row.
There you go.
After losing his first 3 to Burchak, TJ, and Tanaka, which was totally fucked too. He won the fight,
Yeah.
But yeah, like both guys fancy themselves as grapplers. Can Joe Soto neutralize this dude? Could Joe Soto avoid the takedown? Could Joe Soto just strike with the guy?
I feel like Joe Soto can outstrike him.
I think Joe Soto could outstrike him too, but I'm thinking like, can he avoid grappling with this guy? Or is he like
the takedown defense thing?
Well, like he's a pretty competent grappler in his own right. Good wrestler, good jiu-jitsu under David Terrell, a former fighter of the UFC.
Yeah.
But like this guy is another level too, Like so, it's like people have beaten Ronnie Yaya and like literally sat in his guard and.
But I don't know if Joe Soto would do that.
Joe Soto's an exciting fighter. He wants to make the bonus,
Yeah, definitely. Alright. It's an interesting one.
And I also think he has more will, the better cardio. He might.
I definitely think Joe Soto has a cardio advantage. The bull is hard, 100%. Yeah, give me Joe Soto.
Give him Joe Soto.
That's my man, bro.
I want to go with Joe Soto because that's where my heart lies, I would say. But Ronnie Yaya, I see edging some rounds. I see it being a 29-28 squeaker fight, like a closely contested fight that Ronnie Yaya gets some key positions, does what he always does, and
that's
wins
it.
the fight.
Word. Well,
Next fight.
Josh Berkman and Michael Prazeres.
It's Michelle, but no worries. I'm not a grammar Nazi or anything, or spelling Nazi.
Michelle.
Prazeres is a big favorite. He's a -260 favorite, while Josh Berkman here is a +220 underdog. Now, I don't know if it's warranted or not. I'm conflicted.
Well, Josh Berkman has not looked good.
No, he's lost 5 out of his last 6 in the octagon.
And he doesn't hit that hard.
Ask Tyler Stinson that, I beg to differ.
Well, how long ago was that?
A while ago. That's a good point.
That's what I'm saying.
This guy used to fight at 185, and now he's fighting at 155 at the end of his career. I don't know how good that is for your body.
Yeah.
And I mean, you saw MMA Digest. He cut a lot of weight recently. His cardio hasn't been holding up the way I would want it to. He has been broken before in the later rounds. This guy he's fighting, Michel Prazeres, is a little brick. He's 21-2, and he's 5-2 in the octagon. He's been pretty good. I called him winning against Gilbert Burns. His striking's good. His speed's good. His cardio's underrated. He's pretty well rounded, and people have a hard time just beating him up. Kevin Lee beat him up, but other people are having a hard time with this guy. Josh Berkman is having a hard time pulling the trigger, and he's a very athletic dude, and I could see that Tyler Stinson thing happening again with the knockout, that crazy flash knockout, but that's like me betting on Vitor against Kelvin. It's yes, I see it's possible, but I see it's unlikely. You've lost 5 out of your last 6. You're not doing great in any weight class. You're not, even when you did win against KJ Noons, it was very closely contested, and just the way he's fighting now isn't the same guy. It's not that level anymore. He's not the same guy.
I feel you. I
think Prazeres is on the up. I think Prazeres will be able to answer anything Berkman presents. He's a very strong guy. Could take him down.
I feel like he's much more devastating than, much less forgiving than Josh Berkman.
At least as of now, he's really proven me he's wrong in the last couple of fights. He's looking good. Let's make it 4 wins in a row for Prazeres. Berkman probably doesn't get finished. I say Prazeres because he's only won in the octagon by decision. Gets another decision win.
Makes sense. So,
anyways, we have a featherweight bout between Jeremy Kennedy and Ronnie Jason, and it's a pick'em. Kennedy's a -150, -115, excuse me, while Jason's a -105. And Jiu-Jitsu, your boy, this is a very close fight because Jeremy Kennedy, he's 9-0. He hasn't lost. He's looked well-rounded and good. He's good at implementing what he wants in the fight. Ronnie Jason, he's had some ups in the octagon, some downs in the octagon. But either way, he's a solid fighter. He's a mid-range fighter. Basically, a prospect versus veteran. Who's going to win this fight? I don't know much about Kennedy. I like that he's undefeated, but I don't feel educated enough about how he fights to really trust him. And Ronnie Jason's in his backyard, which I don't know if that helps or not.
I feel like it gives you a little extra.
He got head kicked in the face by Jeremy Stevens in Brazil, I think. But he also destroyed some people in Brazil too, so it's depends, I don't know. I really can't pick a winner. I would say maybe Jeremy Kennedy does what Bermudez did, mixes it up well, does a DJ attack, mixes up the takedowns with the boxing. It seems like Ronnie Jason was just 5 steps behind Bermudez.
Yeah, you're just confused, right? That's what I'm thinking. Just a little confused. I don't know if that happens though.
I mean, if Jeremy Kennedy can do that,
man, it's looking slow.
He's a winner so far. I'm actually gonna go with Kennedy. I think he can mix it up and steal some rounds. Either way, he's probably not gonna finish him. He's not much of a finisher anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know in this fight.
Fair.
This fight's kind of hard to pick.
Anyways, this last fight's gonna be the easiest one. Last fight we have a middleweight contest. Well, first fight between Gareth McClellan and Paulo Henry Costa. Online, his name's different, so I don't know what his name actually might be. Anyways, he's a -255 favorite, while McClellan's a +215 underdog. And to put this simply, we talked about this. McClellan's 1-3 inside the octagon from the Africa fight scene that isn't really that great. and this guy, whatever his name is, Paulo Barricino, whatever, he's 8-0 with 8 finishes, all in the first round. So the only thing that I think of is, like, one, has he fought a guy on Gareth McClellan's level who, as much as he's not done great in the octagon, he has had his redeeming qualities. He's had his moments, and, like, he has heart. He has a decent chin. So, like, I don't know if this guy can go the full rounds. Regardless of that, I'm still picking him because he's been beasting.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know how you pick against that right now. I kind of just, like, go for it, little guy.
Right.
Big guy in a sense, but
for sure.
That's it, though.
But anyways, who do we think is a lock in this fight? Because I won't even say Tim Means is a lock. So I don't
really. I would say Kelvin, Tim Means.
I'd say those are the most confident, but like every fight I can imagine something happening. I guess that's why MMA is such an exciting sport, you know?
Never know what's gonna
happen.
Yeah, honestly, I only really have Kelvin and Tim Means.
I want to say Marion Renault, but even that I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
But that wraps it up. I don't know. I'd love to hear who you guys think is the most confident picks of the week. Tell me why you think that. Embrace the knowledge.
There you go.
But anyways, thanks guys for watching. I'm very excited to make these new videos, and we'll see you guys shortly. So stay tuned.